Okay, so this is going to be an introduction to the Java EE programming course and the requirements and expectations. So as we're looking at the syllabus, which is in front of you, and again, it can be downloaded from bhacker.com. What I've got here is kind of a small little description. The description doesn't really do the course justice, I think. This is not what I'd call an object-oriented programming in Java course. That was the first course in this sequence, and hopefully you guys have taken that one. If not, maybe you're familiar with Java to some extent. The course is going to cover the Enterprise Edition. The Enterprise Edition is mostly the networking toolsets, RMI, JDBC, Java Beans, servlets, all of the fancy stuff that's not included in the base core packages, but it is base core Java. It's just the Enterprise. And the word Enterprise, a lot of people go, what in the world is Enterprise? I don't know why they didn't call it networking. Enterprise is kind of the business or the application plus all of the other little pieces that work with it. So when you think enterprise, I always think of multiple sources of information, multiple packages, multiple applications and things that are all working together in a kind of a networked environment. So the focus is on the APIs, its usage. We're going to look at sockets a little bit. We're going to look at RMI first. We'll look at the Java IDL, we'll look at Java Security, APIs, we'll look at Java JDBC, maybe some servlets, Java Bean technologies. And then the recommendation is that you have taken the Object-Oriented Programming in Java course. If you haven't taken it, it's a good sequence to take first. If you have a little bit of Java background, you're good. So you can go through the learning objectives here on your own. I'm going to scroll down. And optional materials. I didn't have a textbook that I've done for this course. Instead, I've recommended two of these sources here. The problem with Java is it just keeps changing. The APIs keep getting upgraded. I mean, you buy a book, it's outdated 6 months after you buy it. And there's a ton of good resources on the internet. So I highly recommend using the internet until they ban free information. And hopefully you guys are signing the petition to keep the internet open and free and unregulated by the government. But this is not a lecture on that. I think it's terrible to censor the internet. So if you go to the Google main page, you can sign a petition from Google if you wanted to. Yeah, if you go, okay, slight tangent. Let's just do it here. If you type in Google, you see they have this little black box here, and down here it says, please don't censor the web. Actually, if you click on this box here, it'll take you to the survey. So, tell Congress, please don't censor the web. So here we go. Easy way to get to it, to put your voice in. So I think that would be terrible, I think, if they censored it. Yeah. Well, there's so much government censorship going on already. You know, why mess with the internet? That's the one free thing we have in this country. Right, so, or in the world, I should say. But, you know, I shouldn't complain. And this government actually is a little bit more liberal than other governments. So, well, places in China you can't even get to People's Republic of China. You can't get to YouTube. It's banned by the government. So,
Facebook, everything is banned.
Yeah, Facebook, YouTube. I just don't want to see that happen in the U.S. You know? Which is terrible, I think. So, I think it's pretty terrible to ban Facebook and YouTube in China. Is it anything banned in India?
No.
Oh, that's good. Are they planning it? Oh, that's not good. Well, hopefully the day of the internet won't be the past. So, all right. So going back to the reason why I mentioned the internet, well, you could get some good information right now if you go out there and get it. Right now, it's still available on developing Java enterprise applications, or you might see this one is in the second edition as of the publication of the syllabus, which is about a year old. I've taught this class maybe twice so far. Never taught it here at ITU, though. This is the first time at ITU. But it's very similar to another course I have taught in the past called Client Server and the Internet. So it's a modification, sort of that class. But in any case, this book is probably not in its second edition anymore. It's probably in its fifth or sixth by now. And actually the Enterprise Java Computing Applications and Architecture, I don't believe this one is in print anymore either. So you probably can find an old copy of it, though, somewhere. And the ISBN numbers will help you. So most students on the first day of class are interested in looking at the grading to see what it is that they're going to need to do for this particular course. And The final exam is one requirement that cannot be waived. It is an in-class exam. It's comprehensive. It's going to be given during the last week of the class, which will be the final exam week. I shouldn't say it's after the final lecture, but it's during the final exam week. I'll have a final exam review. For those of you who have taken my classes before, you know that's the most important day of the semester to show up, because that's when you're going to find out what's on the exam, what format is it, what do I need to study, what do I need to know. And then I generally have a pretty open policy in terms of when you can show up to take it, so you can take it during any one of my issued exams during that week. But I'll have more information on that as we get closer to the end of the term. We have this other thing called a Course Student Learning Objective Essay that is not available yet on the website because I need to make one up. It's going to be a writing assignment on a topic related to Java EE, and it'll be worth 10% of your course grade. You know, it's a small percentage. It's a writing assignment. So this will improve your English writing skills, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. It's in there as an assessment thing for accreditation. So every course will have one of those if you haven't heard about it yet. And I'll give you the format for it and everything as we go through the course. The other thing, as I mentioned before, are going to be those 4 projects. You can do the projects on a Mac, you can do it on a Windows system. It's all Java. You can do it on any platform you want. I don't need to know ahead of time. And when you send me projects, if it's in Eclipse, you could just zip up the entire directory. You can do that actually right from Eclipse. Or you can create jar files, or you can do anything you want, essentially. I'm very flexible with that. The homework assignments, there's 6 of them. These aren't really programming assignments. That's why they're in a separate category. They're smaller. Some of them are little research assignments, a little comparison, contrast, little experimental stuff. A couple of them, especially in the beginning, have a little bit of programming associated with them. And in fact, I'll show you the first couple of assignments as we go through. In fact, we'll just bring it up now. They're all in Word files. And if I, let's see, here we go, assignments. I look at assignment number 1 as an example. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Microsoft Word, here we go. Purposes here, let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Purposes of this assignment is to brush up on your Java programming skills. So it's just, in fact, this should be fairly easy. If you can't do the first assignment and it's not easy, it's really a huge challenge. You're probably in the wrong course, because I can't go teach you Java and then teach you EE programming. Not going to work really that easily. So the purpose is to brush you up on your Java skills. Hopefully you're not learning Java for the first time. There's 4 little small programs that you write, and then you upload them into the LMS. And the 4 programs, one of them is going to take your first name, your last name. So understand the use of command line arguments. The next one, it's just simple. Understand the use of if and else statements and constants. And understanding how to use a switch case. Understanding how to use the switch statement. Understanding how to use a while loop. So you've got 4 small little programs that you write. The next one actually is going to be on Java EE, so it's going to be on more of a JDBC actually, I think probably. Some of the assignments, just go back to there for a second. Some of the assignments, let's say for example number 6 here, I'll just open this one up, is a writing one where you're explaining the concept of Corba as an example, and you're explaining the concept of Java Enterprise Beans. So some of them vary in difficulty. The homework assignments, the 6 of them are quite easy. It's only worth 5 points. You got 5 questions, 1 point per question. It's just answering some questions. What you don't want to do is cut and paste off of the internet and stuff like that. Try to do everything in your own words, in your own work. Which brings us to academic dishonesty down here. So try not to, be honest. Try not to be dishonest, I should say. Try to be honest. Class attendance is not part of the course grade as you've seen up here. But I will tell you that you will learn a lot more if you show up to class. And it is a requirement for this university. And so if they wanted to, they could audit you and throw you out. if you're not attending the course. So you're taking a huge risk by not attending the course, and this is for people who are not here right now. Everybody who is sitting here is attending the course. Everyone who is listening to this video is not attending the course, if you haven't heard this. So if you're not attending the course, you run the risk of not passing the course and also not getting credit for the course, depending upon how strict the administration wants to be on you. But it is not part of the course grade, however. If you have extenuating circumstances, like you're sick or you have a job that's taking up a lot of your time, you're stressed out, I can understand missing a few classes, actually. But you want to make sure you're in attendance and you're here and you're signing the attendance list, which reminds me, do we have an official attendance roster? I have a brand new TA, first day of her TA experience. We need to take attendance for each one of our class meetings. Yeah. So when we're all done, you can figure that out. But make sure to get everybody's names who was here today. So I know it sounds like high school, but it's an international university. Syllabus requires attendance. So it's up to you to abide by the rules. If you're not, then you run the risk. Been thrown out, deported, sent back home. So enough with that. Okay, grading formula is pretty standard. I don't give out A+. There's no such thing as an A+. You can't get anything past 100% in the course, and you can't get anything past a 4.0. This is not like high school. It is like high school in terms of attendance. It's not like high school in terms of grading. We don't have advanced placement. We don't have AP classes here. So, course schedule. I don't have any dates on this course schedule, but what I have here is sort of the game plan for how to successfully take the course and get through it. So the beginning, week number 1, which is this week, we're going to do an introduction to enterprise computing and client server and distributed environments, and that's going to be lecture number 1. I'm going to start momentarily as soon as I get done with this syllabus. Next week, we're going to start in with an introduction to JDBC. Well, probably will be next week, actually. And then we're going to do some basic JDBC programming, and I'll talk about JDBC and stuff like that in today's lecture. Then we'll look at JNDI, and then we'll go through, and you can, JSP, RMI. How far we'll get into Corba, you probably won't be implementing anything, because it really does require a lot of installing of some separate packages and things. Everything else is going to come already with your Java EE download and install, especially even the database stuff will come packaged in there as well. But Corba is a slightly separate animal. We'll talk about it. I'll show you, explain a little bit about it, but we're not really going to be programming in it. But you will be writing a JSP application. You will be looking at Java Beans as well, servlets. So, but this is sort of the game plan. So about week number 4, you should start thinking about turning in assignment number 1. So you have 4 weeks to learn Java, essentially, if you haven't learned Java yet. And if you haven't learned Java yet and you're interested in learning Java before, take the next 4 weeks. Use your time wisely. And in the lectures, this little link here, in the lectures link, you're going to want to look at lecture number 2. It says Java 1, Java 2, Java 3, which is an introduction to Java. And of course, if you're a C++ programmer, you've never taken Java before, this is valuable because it's from a C++ perspective. So it takes C++ and turns it into Java, essentially, which is really the same language in a lot of different ways. Same concepts, I should say. Slightly different languages. I shouldn't call them the same. Goes through a hello world, goes through the install of the software. And then lecture 3 is the JDBC. So today I'm going to cover lecture number 1. I'm going to skip this here. This is your homework for the next 4 weeks to be working on if you're brand new to Java, which I highly recommend. If you're brand new to Java, you don't go through this, you don't take the initiative, you're probably going to have a problem with the first couple of assignments. And it's going to make it more difficult for you to understand JDBC because I'm going to assume you've got some background. Okay. Questions about the syllabus, about the class, what we're going to study in here? That's our brief yet comprehensive overview of the syllabus. And again, this is located at the bhacker.com website, the one I was just on a few minutes ago. You can see the syllabus in the main directory. And in the main directory, you'll also see right underneath the syllabus is where I'm going to put the CSLO essay when it's ready. and anything else. And this will be populated, especially the video lectures every week, will be populated as we go through the course. No questions? All right, well then I'm going to end our brief introduction to the course. I'm going to stop this video and start in the next one with lecture number 1.